Hey everybody, I want to make a quick video. Not exactly sure what I'm going to say, but mostly it's the point that I want to make in terms of working on my vulnerability. I've heard a lot of other content creators talk about being real, being vulnerable, not making sure the makeup and the hair and the clothes and the scenery and all that stuff is just perfect, and things like that have held me back too. So I've had a very rough weekend, and lots of crying and distress and life being life, issues I've dealt with for a very long time coming up. I'm just laughing because I know I don't probably look or sound very good, but that's like, again, the whole point. And I've been delving into my faith quite a bit, trying to set my mindset right about love. Feeling unloved has really affected me throughout my life and has just compounded issues. Just please bear with me. And by the way, while I'm trying to get my thoughts together, I'd really appreciate if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this with other people. The world's not perfect, and the internet tends to portray this edited, filtered, so forth image that is the challenge that I'm trying to take on, not trying to be all perfect. Because in this channel, it's about people like myself who have gotten on these medications because you think something's wrong with you, or I thought something was wrong with me. I'm a very sensitive person, and I ended up getting on the type of drugs that would suppress feelings and emotions, and I'm a very caring person, and I have found myself in positions that were just horrible, and I would just kind of shrug, whatever, here it is again. That will cause, at least for me, it will cause somebody to stick around in situations that they shouldn't be in. It could be a terrible job. It could be a horrible relationship. It could, even the city you're in or town, whatever the case may be. I try to emphasize that I'm not 100% anti-drugs. I feel like they're way overdone. And in my video, You're Not Crazy, it was getting across the message that many of us are having a normal reaction to a garbage fire situation, and to throw medicine at it so we don't feel it as much or we don't care, is not getting to the root of the issue. If anything, it's to appease other people on a personal level, to try to escape that the terrible feelings that come with it, without realizing that I can have an effect on my situation, improve the situation. There's a defeatist attitude. There's a sense of powerlessness that comes along, that we're oftentimes turning towards something else. Just because these substances come out of the pharmacy doesn't make it much different than getting it from the liquor store or getting it from the dude on the street. You're still trying to alter your mentality, escape, feel better, something like that. I remind myself a lot, and I'm sure not enough, that God loves me. Jesus died for me in the most horrific way because he loves us so much. That's John 3:16. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. And we're killing ourselves in all of these other ways. And I think I lost sight on the North Star that is Jesus. My compass was all off, and there was just this distress and manipulation trying to get my way. What do I know? I say that a lot. What do I know? I've had plenty of examples that in faith and exercising patience to the best of my ability, I see that God works things for our good. It can be later that day, later that week, month, and I've seen even years later or decades. A lot of the stuff that we're going through or have gone through, I think it's in Romans 5, but I'm sorry if I am getting this wrong. Maybe somebody can put it in the comments, that our suffering is not in vain. We rejoice in our sufferings. For me, it has helped me realize what my purpose is on this earth. I knew from being a young child that I meant to be a teacher, and as I got a little bit older, by the time I was roughly in high school or so, a healer. I was drawn to the mental health part of healing. I think that is not such an obvious avenue, but the calling wasn't so strong. It wasn't so apparent. So teaching and healing, and I believe that healing can happen through teaching, so they work together for me anyway. So, here I am again. I know life can be painful. That doesn't mean we need to succumb to whatever it is and just lie down and accept it. We have power with God. We have power given to us. We are loved. It's not easy for me to say this, just so you guys know, because life gets really hard sometimes, and it is very easy. As strong as a Christian somebody may be, I'm amazed at how easy it is to lose sight of the truth. And that kind of goes into another concept that I made a video about, but not so deeply into: getting support. We can't do it alone. As humans, we're not built to do this on our own, whatever it is. That's kind of another lie or experience that many of us, including myself, have gone through, where we feel like we have to do everything. We can't ask for help. We've asked for help before and we got let down. And that is just a reinforcement of a lie. So I really hope this helps. I'm just coming off the cuff here, but something's gonna hit with somebody watching and give some encouragement and just an extra push for another day. And then, days become more days, and we find our purpose, and it's important that we actually walk in that purpose and do what we're called to do for the kingdom. So yeah, I've felt very defeated, felt like I've failed, and everything's temporary. Everything's temporary. It may be for a long time, but even being on this earth is temporary, if you really want to look at the big picture. So all things will pass. I would be one of those people that can tell you that situations and feelings and whatnot can feel absolutely unbearable. It feels that way. Just keep that in mind. It feels that way. And there is a way out, in a positive way. I mean, I felt trapped in a lot of ways. And that it's feeding into a defeatist mentality that will just, it's gotten me stuck, and sometimes it continues to get me stuck, and then I come out the other side and then it might happen again. And some of that admittedly is me not exercising self-control and love, being offended and unforgiving. It's just a recipe for disaster. So I really encourage anybody watching to do some self-reflection. What is it in you that has you like stuck where you are, in whether it's a mentality or in that horrible job or that abusive relationship, not furthering yourself with your like education, for example, bad habits, like whatever. Just think about what is in your mentality that has you stuck, because it may seem either extremely hard or impossible to get out of where you are, which starts with what's going on in your heart and your mind. Don't listen to the lies. Ask God to help you, and therefore you will get the answer as to what you need to do. And sometimes, because we're human and we want to take control of things, sometimes that's not doing anything within your own power. I hope this doesn't sound really cliche, because it's not cliche. It's in the Bible. Wait on the Lord. That has a lot of nuances, though, and that's something to be explored in your own situation. But I know that when I anticipate going into a difficult situation, I pray, God, please help me say what needs to be said in the way that it needs to be said, and don't say or do the things that don't need to be said or done. You keep on keeping on. I'll keep praying for you. And if you're going through withdrawal, it gets better. It gets better. In my second withdrawal experience video, I said that one of the hardest things was not knowing when it would be over. So I get that. And that's just one experience in my life. There's many experiences where it couldn't be over quick enough, but that's part of like the lesson and part of the experience. If I would have like gotten off of these medications, no problem, or really quickly, I would not have had the motivation to do what I'm doing now. I wouldn't have realized how bad of a problem this is that's not being talked about nearly enough. I wouldn't have realized part of my calling. So I know things get very painful. Try to see the light and the purpose in that suffering. This stuff is in the Bible. I really, again, I'm not prepared, so I don't have all of the references. If I can, I'll drop those references in the comments, or if anybody is watching and they know it or they have the time to drop it in there, that'd be super appreciated. So thank you again for supporting this channel. Please support each other and keep the truth at the forefront of your mind.